Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well, and in today's video we're going to take a quick little look at this waveform generator. This is the FY8300s 60 MHz version from FeelTec. It has been in my wish list for quite some time. However, if you look at the reviews of this on eevblog and other forums, they don't seem to get a very good write-up. However, I was trawling around one day and I found this was on half price from what it normally is. In the UK this is normally somewhere between £200 to £250, but being half price, less than half price actually, I thought I would give it a go and just see how we can get on with it. Inside the box here we do get this little card. There is no user guide or software that comes with the unit. You're supposed to be able to download it, however that website there doesn't work, and on the Amazon site it actually says you have to download this, and there's an email address here as well. I've emailed them, I've yet to have a response, so whether or not I can ever get hold of the user manual and the software I do not know at this moment in time. I'll take him out of his box, obviously just in a little cardboard box. As typical with a lot of these things, we do have a little QR code here that just gives you a telephone number to ring. I haven't tried that, I didn't fancy doing that, but that may work, of course, I do not know. We have the little unit itself, very light and small unit. You can see grey plastic here, got a little stand for it to sit up on. This, so we do have in the other cardboard box all our bits and pieces that comes with it. And we have our UK style mains lead here, and we have there's a couple of BNC leads there by the looks of it. There's 3 BNC leads, I can't count. Fairly short, with they half-metre leads by the looks of it. BNC to BNC. One for each channel will do nicely, won't it? And then we've got these here as well, which is what leads do we get? Three of these as well, which are like about 1 metre long, and these are BNC to croc clips. And then finally at the back here we've got a USB lead, probably for connection to the computer. You can upgrade the firmware on this as well, and that's been one of the main complaints, that upgrading the firmware on this is not always successful and you end up destroying the unit. So a quick little look at the unit here. You can see our front panel. We've got our 3 connectors there, one for each channel. We've got a little rotary switch for changing the menu options and the values, and then you can get to the buttons, but everything's kind of in the way, it's so small and compact. And we've got some menu selection here and along here as well. Off there over to the left hand side, it's the FeelElec FY8300s on there, 14-bit 250 megasamples per second. And now the back here, direct mains input going into this, on off switch, got a little cooling fan, our USB connector, and we've got our TTL out. So there is no lead for this, so you would have to make a lead up, but without a manual you obviously don't know what the connections are, do you? I presume it's a standard IDC connector. And then on our BNCs here we've got a trigger input there, we've got a sync out, sync in, and VCO in on there as well. Power supply is dual rated 110 volt to 240 volt, 10 watts. Our little stand has just collapsed, so put them back out again. And there we have it. We'll plug some mains in and we'll see what happens. Oh, it fires itself up straight away, and then we are straight into our relevant menus. We can go to frequency, amplitude here, offset there, and our phase there. And then our waveform, we also currently set to channel 1. Channel 2 is there, channel 3 is there, so you have to set up each channel independently. Channel 1, wave, square wave. Okay, so you can toggle through each of the different waveform types there. So it doesn't look like you can directly jump, you've got to go through the menus, which is quite substantial. 64 ARB waveforms it can store, so quite a lot. And then we are back to our sine wave. Okay, so what we'll do is set this up on an oscilloscope and we'll see what our 3 waveforms look like. So we've hooked up to the oscilloscope and we will turn everything on. This is a little bit of a nuisance to set up. So when the unit powers up, it defaults to a 10 kHz sine wave, 5 volt peak to peak, and it does actually give the phase relationship. Channel 1 there is phase 0, we are 120 on channel 2, we are 240 on channel 3. I can't find that you can actually change all 3 channels together at this moment in time. The easiest way that I've found of doing this, with the control button here, as well as it being rotary, you can push this in. So if I just turn that off there, and I can change this. I don't know how well you'll be able to see. Now on megahertz, pressing it again, change it to millihertz, and then we're on hertz, and then we can go across, and we take him down to 0 and go across, and then take him up to 50 hertz. Now I'll have to do the same to the other channels. Kilohertz, megahertz, micromilli, there's hertz there. Drop him down, go up to 50 hertz, and then find channel 3. Hertz, and there's our 50, and we'll just do what we did with the other one as well, which was on 1 volt peak to peak. So it's a bit kind of fiddly and clunky because everything's all compact, but you can kind of do it, although if you've got stubby fingers you may start to struggle a little bit. So if you've watched the video before, you will have seen the setup that I did to get 3-phase signal, and you would have seen that this did bounce around a fair bit. Now with the 3-phase signal from this little FY8300s, you can see it is all steady. There is no problems with that, so it's probably a more favourable approach to white's giving me 46 degrees. That's a lot like 46 degrees to me. Okay, it's that particular setting that I've got on there. So we've got 120, it's bouncing around a little bit, 120.2, 120.1. But you can see the phase relationship is there. Channel 3, phase, channel 4, okay, channel 4, phase, channel 2, okay. So they should all be 120 degrees. Let's zoom into that if you can see a little bit better. So they are all 120 degrees down at the bottom there. So the phase relationship is all looking all good. So quite happy with that result really. Would it be as good as the Regal 5000 series that I pointed to in the last video? Probably not. I would imagine that the Regal is a more enjoyable unit to set up. This might be better if I could get hold of the software and set it up software wise on a computer. It might be better then, but you can do it with this. As with the previous setup that I showed in the last video, I can then run this through either a voltage amplifier or a current amplifier to give me three-phase voltages or currents depending on what I wanted. So just take a quick look at a bit more of the functionality of this FeelTec unit. We're on sine wave 60 MHz, we've got 60 MHz. We're on 3.42 volts peak to peak, but it's showing 5 volts peak to peak coming out of our unit. And if I start to lower my frequency on here, we go to 50 MHz, 3.72 volts, now 4.3 volts at 40 MHz, 30 MHz, we have 4.72, 20 MHz, we're now at 4.88. So 2 MHz, we're now at 4.96. So it doesn't look like it's got the total capability that the display is showing you. I can also, if I just change the wave, we're on sine wave, change that to square wave now. It stayed at 60 MHz and 5 volt peak to peak, but as you can see, that's a pretty unstable waveform. We'll go to our frequency again and go down 50 MHz, but that's not very square wave-ish to me. 40, 30, it starts to see a little bit. And then we're now at 20 MHz. I guess you've got kind of a square wave there, haven't you? When we go to 10 MHz, then we have got a fairly good square wave there in respect of this unit. Now that's not unusual. A lot of these function generators will have a faster sine wave than they will a lot of the other waveforms. But generally what they do is they change the frequency automatically, which I can show you with our Regal here that we're on sine. Let's just go to channel 3. So we're on 20 MHz, which is the max this unit can do, and we are 5.60 volts, which is our amplitude, is 5 volts peak to peak. If I just change straight to a square wave on this, you see you get an error message up saying upper frequency limit is 5 MHz. So you see the drop there, but it's done it all automatically for you. And we haven't got a sine wave coming out, we've got a square wave similar to our FeelElec unit there. We've got the little pulses up there, which could be the setup that I've got here, and that could be causing that. So yeah, this unit appears to have a little bit of quirk to its operation. It doesn't look to have the kind of niceties that you see with a slightly more professional unit from Regal, and you'll see even more with something from the like of the Tektronix that I have. Ironically enough, for what I want it for 3-phase 50 Hz output, it seems to do that fine. If you start to stretch the unit out more towards its higher settings, then it doesn't look like it's got quite the capability that they are claiming. But it's a cheap enough unit for me, and it does what I need it to, so I'm quite happy with that. But that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I'll see you again in the next one.